What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to get it poppin' with Nidvember by talking about Shadow Throne. So Shadow Throne is the newest box set that is about to come out either at the end of November or maybe early December, but what this is it pits none other than the Gene Stealer cults against the Reductus Custodes. So this box set seems to be pretty interesting because it's very narratively driven. Like, we all know that Terra is one of the most heavily fortified places in the entire Imperium. However, the talons of the hive mind have infiltrated, and we have a Gene Stealer cult on Terra that the Reductus Custodes will purge. But since we're focusing on Nidvember, this video will focus on the new stuff that we get to see here for the Gene Stealer cults. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, if you guys do want to get a little bit more information, I will have the link to the Warhammer community page so you guys can check out all the new awesome stuff that you could find in this box set. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about a demolition expert here. So again, we have Mersea Thrayk, a Reductus saboteur who seeds the battlefield with explosives before battle is even joined. Even the almighty Reductus Custodes are hard-pressed to survive a mining charge detonating under her feet. So looking at this model, I'm impressed. When it comes to the Gene Stealer cults, I think they have one of the best model lines out of all 40k armies, probably because they're one of the newer armies that came out. And just overall, she looks badass. She's got 3 arms, she's an explosives expert. The face you see here isn't that bad, but I much prefer the one that's like half blown up, giving me that Two-Face vibe from Batman. But all in all, I like the model, so let's see what she has going for her. So here we have the Reductus Saboteur, which is all about explosives. Here you have an interesting array of weaponry that can really disrupt the forces of the Imperium. So let's go ahead and look at the Remote Explosives weapon. This weapon has a range of 24 inches, type Assault 2d3 with a whopping 8 strength, minus 3 AP, but it only does 1 damage. So it deals a lot, but the damage isn't quite there. But it's interesting, it's nifty. You don't really see this type of weaponry when it comes to most 40k armies. But let's go ahead and look at the abilities. So first and foremost, it's type Blast, so that 2d3 just got a lot better. Each time you select the target for this weapon, you cannot target aircraft units, of course, because it's blowing up on ground level. And each time an attack made with this weapon is allocated to that of a monster or a vehicle unit, the damage is increased to a 3. So there you go. This is your weapon killer for monsters and vehicles. So this outright just got a lot better against like an Orc Speed Freak army, because if you're going up against a bunch of vehicles, you're doing 3 damage with each attack that goes through. And if you fight against a bunch of Orc mobs, this will also tear through them as well. However, when you're fighting the Reductus Custodes, it's not really that great unless you come across one of their Contemptor Dreadnoughts. But that's not it. They can also perform a special plant explosives action, leaving a booby trap in place for an area denial threat. Should your opponent ignore the danger, they'll suffer explosive consequences. The Reductus Explosives is an ability that happens at the end of the movement phase or your opponent's charge phase. If any enemy models are within 3 inches of this model's Reductus Explosive marker, then you roll a d6 for each model, except aircrafts, within 3 inches of the marker, adding 2 if it's a biker, a monster, or a vehicle. On a 4-up, that model's unit suffers 1 mortal wound, or 4 mortal wounds if it's a monster or a vehicle. Then remove this model's Reductus Explosive marker from the battlefield. This sounds really good because you can strategically place this on the battlefield, say maybe near an objective or like a key point, and just right then and there, you could be doing 4 mortal wounds on enemy units. That's really good. This is great against vehicles and monsters. So if you're doing the Praetus Vertors, the jet bike units for the Custodians, they're going to get walloped. The heavy Telemon Dreadnought will also be getting some wounds taken off of it. Basically anything Forge World that you see for the Reductus Custodes, it's a counter against that. Somewhat, because I mean 4 mortal wounds is a lot, but it's not going to take anything down by itself. Now, let's say your opponent manages to push through all these explosives. That's not that bad because this unit also has a few rules to keep him alive. The cloaked rule means that each time a ranged attack is allocated to this model, while it has the benefit of cover, you add an additional 1 to any armor saving throw made against the attack. Not just that, but you're also clandestine. While this model is within an area terrain feature, enemy models cannot target it with ranged attacks unless they are within 12 inches of it. Each time a ranged attack is made against this model, you subtract 1 from that attack's hit rolls. So narratively speaking, this model is like a ghost, a shadow throughout the convoluted landscape of Terra. So again, it's only 1 model, so you can't expect it to last the whole game. But being cloaked and having this clandestine rule does add to your survivability quite a bit. And with that being said, guys, that's pretty much all we have for this awesome character for the Gene Stealer cults, Mersea Thrayk, or however you pronounce that, the Reductus saboteur. Now, of course, this is going to be all about Nidvember this month, so expect many more videos on the Tyranids. In my opinion, they're one of the most underused races in 40k. They're one of the biggest threats to the Imperium and the galaxy overall, so they should have a lot more going for them, but GW tends to overlook them often. So let me know what is your favorite Gene Stealer cult model, and for that matter, what's your favorite Tyranid model, and maybe we'll get videos for them in the days to come. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, and comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate. Catch you then.